Mr. Mayor. The Council's budget is being set tonight in the face of continuing cuts to local government funding by the Tory-led coalition government. But a situation that's not being helped by a Barnet Tory administration that makes the wrong decisions time after time. Our Labour budget amendment shows that despite the difficult funding situation, it is possible to do things differently and help to build a better Barnet. And one of those things is parking. We will fix parking in Barnet. For too long, Tories have been driving people out of our high streets by hiking up charges, punitive enforcement and scrapping cash payments for parking. We will bring back that irreversible scrapping of cash parking by enabling the cars-only meters to take cash, a decision the Tories on the recent Task and Finish group refused to back, despite the overwhelming evidence in support from residents, traders and indeed from other local councils, where almost all of those consulted have retained cash meters. But, Mr. Mayor, we will do more. We will provide for at least 30 minutes free parking in all our town centres. We see all our town centres as being main town centres for their community. And as an administration, we will put in the necessary funding to make sure that this pledge is fulfilled. Unlike the Tories that are doing the exact opposite and driving away people from our high streets. We also, Mr. Mayor, plan to invest in a new Barnet card, giving people an additional way to pay for parking, but which will also become a Barnet loyalty card, giving discounts and offers across the borough. Mr. Mayor, what we wouldn't do, unlike the Tories, is waste thousands of pounds on parking focus groups, £250 for each person who attended, or use valuable funds meant to regenerate our town centres to consult on their disastrous parking policies and then ignore the findings anyway. Mr. Mayor, we'll get more done by not wasting money like the Tories have been. And we'll save even more money by scrapping the scheme which gives Tory councillors free permits to park wherever they like, while they hike up charges for everyone else. Mr. Mayor, there is, however, life beyond, believe it or not, beyond parking. Residents tell us that our town centres and residential streets are too dirty, and many say that they never see a street cleaner. It's just not good enough. Our amendment therefore puts in additional funds above and beyond everything that is already budgeted for or planned. We will make sure that our town centres are properly cleaned at weekends by introducing a top-up cleanse. We will tackle dirty residential streets by setting up a dedicated street cleaning hotspot fund. And, Mr. Mayor, we will end the plague of abandoned mattresses and fridges by introducing a free bulky item collection service for everyone, making life easier for all our residents and at the same time cleaning up our borough. Mr. Mayor, our budget is balanced, fair and puts right some of those failed Tory policies. Let's bin the Tory budget and in May, bin the Tories themselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's been an extremely busy year, but at the same time a very successful one for the various services that fall under my portfolio. I would first like to put on record my thanks and appreciation to both my officers, members of the Conservative and the residents of this borough for giving me the support through all the various different projects that I have led in this past year. The new refuse and recycling service that was rolled out in October has been a resounding success. The collection of dry recyclables has increased from approximately 380 tonnes to approximately 500 tonnes per week in the first 10 weeks of the rollout and has stayed near enough that level since. On top of that, we now collect 140 tonnes approximately of food waste per week compared to a total of 200 tonnes for the whole year before the rollout. Not only has it been a success in terms of recycling figures, but more importantly, it's been a success on the doorstep. With 40% of the borough's residents that received the bins spoken to, 81% are satisfied or very satisfied with the new service. This administration has also noted concerns raised by residents in last year's resident perception survey with regards to street cleansing. As a result, a radical overhaul of street cleansing service was put into action, with 23 new street cleansing machines to clean town centres and residential side streets. Although only operating for a matter of weeks and the routes still being tweaked, the impact of these changes is already starting to be seen on the ground. This administration has invested substantial money in our much-loved parks and is currently working on 4 schemes with Friends of Parks groups to make improvements and additions to the play area. Our highways and footways are one of the main concerns that residents in this borough are concerned about. This year alone, this Conservative administration has invested £7 million in our carriageways and footways, and my focus is to continue with this investment year after year, because this is what our residents want, and that is what they deserve. Now, on to parking. Over the past year, I, together with my officers, and in consultation with residents and business, have worked tirelessly to improve the parking across this borough. We have made a large number of changes across the borough, with some town centres still to come in the coming weeks or months. These changes include reduced parking charges for up to 35% in some locations, elements of free parking of between 15 minutes and 2 hours, both on street and our car parks, an additional method of paying 59 credit debit card machines, limiting the sale of parking in town centres where all-day parking was an issue, maximising the use of loading bays outside of loading times to enable 15 minutes free parking, and limiting longer stay users where the shoppers, visitors, business permits holders, etc. to the main parts of the high street and moving them a bit further out, freeing up the prime spaces. So what have we heard from the opposition Labour group and the Liberal group in the last year or so on parking? Last year's Labour budget included £2.5 million proposal to spend on new coin-operated meters. This year, we see a proposal to adapt the easy-to-use 59 debit card credit card machines to be installed by this Conservative administration at a cost of £26,000. Mr Mayor, this is one U-turn the opposition have made which could have cost this taxpayer of this borough a shade under £2.5 million. Only in November, less than 4 months from the Barnet Labour Group released their parking pledge to the residents of the borough, which included 30 minutes free parking in our town centres. Today, it is revealed it is only 4 town centres out of Barnet's 21 town centres. The question needs to answer tonight is this another U-turn, or have the Labour misled, or more than misled, the residents of this borough? Thank you, Mr. Mayor.